You're watching USA News Hub, your home for breaking headlines, trending sports stories, and exclusive updates from across the nation. What if the biggest decision of Emma Raducanu's career has already been made? After years of injuries, uncertainty, and constant questions about her future, a former British number one believes Raducanu has finally taken the step that could send her back to the very top of the sport. No hype, no shortcuts, just one crucial choice, and a partnership that could define the next chapter of her career. United Kingdom Emma Raducanu enters 2026 with questions and opportunity. Emma Raducanu began 2026 with a familiar challenge hovering in the background: injury concerns. For a player who shocked the tennis world in 2021, injuries and inconsistency have since prevented her from building momentum. Yet despite the doubts, there is growing belief among insiders that Raducanu is finally on the right path. And according to former British number one Greg Rusedski, the most important decision has already been taken. The decision that could change everything. For years, Raducanu's constantly shifting coaching setup has been one of the most discussed topics in women's tennis. New coach, short partnership, another reset. Since her historic U.S. Open triumph, stability has been the missing ingredient. That's why her decision to stick with Francisco Roig into 2026 is now being viewed as a potential turning point. Teacher, who is Francisco Roig, and why he matters. Francisco Roig is no experiment. He is a proven elite-level coach, best known for his long-term role within Rafael Nadal's camp, where discipline, structure, and long-term planning were non-negotiable. Roig has also worked with Matteo Berrettini, a high-level ATP professionals, players competing deep into major tournaments. This isn't about chasing quick fixes, it's about foundations. Repeat button from short-term fixes to long-term vision. Raducanu first hired Roig in 2025. Rather than rushing into commitments, she took a measured approach. Now, by extending their partnership into 2026, she has signaled something important to the tennis world. She wants continuity. She wants structure. And she wants a coach who understands what it takes to win at the highest level and sustain it. Studio microphone Greg Rusedski. This could reap rewards. Former British number one Greg Rusedski believes the decision to stay with Roig could be transformational. Speaking on his podcast Off Court with Greg, Rusedski reflected on Raducanu's unique career path. Her story was a little different because all of a sudden, she wins a slam at 18. That moment changed everything. Globe showing Europe-Africa, a once-in-a-generation moment. Raducanu's 2021 U.S. Open triumph remains one of the most extraordinary achievements in tennis history. She came through qualifying, won her first Grand Slam, did it without dropping a set. Rusedski highlighted just how rare that achievement was. Nobody has done that in their first three majors apart from the greats of the game. The expectations were instant and overwhelming. Warning: the burden of expectation. According to Rusedski, everyone is thinking Emma Raducanu will be number one. She can win multiple majors. She can be the new face of the WTA. But tennis doesn't move at the speed of headlines. Development takes time. Bodies take time. Confidence takes time. Why consistency didn't come immediately. After her U.S. Open win, Raducanu faced challenges few players experience so early: media pressure, commercial demands, a rapid rise in ranking, physical adjustments to the tour. The result: inconsistency, not because of talent, but because of instability. Now she has solidity behind her. Rusedski believes Francisco Roig provides something Raducanu desperately needed. Now with Francisco Roig, a coach I've actually worked with, I think she has that solidity behind her. That word, solidity, is KEYT, the elite level. Confidence doesn't come from wins alone. T comes from knowing that every day training makes sense. The plan is clear. The voice in your corner is experienced. Tennis early signs at the United Cup. Although Raducanu didn't leave the United Cup with wins, her performance against Maria Sakkari stood out. Ruzetsky noted, "I thought she played a pretty good opening match against Sakkari. Even though she lost, she looked in pretty good form." That assessment matters, because progress isn't always measured by scorelines. Sometimes it's measured by how you compete. Flexed biceps fitness, the final piece of the puzzle. Ruzetsky made one thing clear: if she is physically in good shape, she is trending in the right direction. That conditional statement sums up Raducanu's recent seasons. Talent has never been the issue. Health has. A healthy Raducanu, with structure and confidence, becomes a very different threat. Chart increasing, a top 30 player, and climbing. Despite the challenges, Raducanu has worked her way back into the top 30. That's an important milestone, T suggests. A ranking stability. A entry into big tournaments. A manageable draws from there. Belief can start to grow organically. Counterclockwise arrows button why this partnership feels different. Ruzetsky ended his assessment with a prediction: "I think that partnership is going to last." In modern tennis, especially on the WTA Tour, that statement carries serious weight. Longevity means trust. Trust means patience. Patience often leads to breakthroughs. United States, why American fans should pay attention. For U.S. tennis fans, Raducanu's story resonates deeply. She represents a youth potential, a sudden superstardom. The challenge of expectations. Her comeback narrative parallels many great champions who struggled early before finding the right formula. Puzzle piece from phenom to project, and back again. Emma Raducanu's journey is not linear. She went from a overnight sensation, to question mark, to work in progress, and now she's becoming a project with direction. Crystal ball, can this decision lead to glory? No one is promising Grand Slam trophies tomorrow. But what Ruzetsky sees is more important: a player finally aligned with the right coach, the right mindset, the right support. And in tennis, alignment is everything. Emma Raducanu doesn't need to prove she belongs. She already did that at 18. What she needs now is time, health, and belief. And for the first time in years, those pieces appear to be falling into place if Greg Ruzetsky is right. The decision to stay with Francisco Roig won't just steady her career. Emma Raducanu's key decision could change everything. Former British #1 predicts big comeback. It could ignite it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story that's shaping America and the world. We'll see you in the next update.